Wow, loser! No!
You were 17 when the first crack appeared. Not in your grades, not in your family, in your belief that life was supposed to follow a script. Every morning looked exactly the same. Wake up, put on a uniform, sit in a classroom, memorize information you would forget a week later, go home, repeat. The teachers called it preparation for the future. But whenever you looked around, nobody seemed excited about that future. The adults looked tired. The office workers looked exhausted. Even the successful people in your town spent most of their lives waiting for weekends. And somewhere deep inside, a dangerous question started growing. What if there was another way? One night, while scrolling through YouTube instead of studying for an exam, you found a video. A young guy sitting in front of a laptop. No suit, no office, no boss, just a camera and a story. He talked about making money online. At first, you laughed. It sounded fake. Everyone around you said online business was a scam. But then another video appeared, and another, and another. Some creators showed freelance businesses. Others talked about e-commerce, affiliate marketing, content creation, copywriting, remote work, digital products. For the first time in your life, you saw people earning money without following the traditional path. And that idea became impossible to forget. While your classmates spent weekends partying, you started researching. You discovered creators like Andrew Tate, then Hamza. A teacher asked what you wanted to do after graduation. Students gave predictable answers: engineer, doctor, lawyer, accountant. When it was your turn, you said, "I want to work online." Classroom laughed. Even the teacher smiled, not because she was cruel, because it sounded ridiculous. Work online doing what? Nobody had a clear answer. That day stayed in your head for months, not because they laughed, because part of you feared they might be right. Still, you couldn't stop. At 18, you made your first online business. It failed. You made your second. It failed too, then a third. And a fourth. Every guru made success sound simple: build a store, run ads, make money. Reality was different. You lost money, you wasted time, you bought courses. Some were helpful, others were glorified PowerPoints sold for hundreds of dollars. Every time a business guru promised a shortcut, you wanted to believe them. Because shortcuts are seductive when you're desperate. But reality taught a different lesson. Nobody could sell you success, only skills. And even then, you had to do the work. Months passed, then years. Your friends started getting jobs, some entered university, some seemed ahead of you. Social media made it worse. Every day you saw someone claiming to make $10,000 a month, then $50,000, then $100,000. Everyone looked rich. Everyone looked successful. Meanwhile, you were sitting in your bedroom trying to convince strangers on the internet to buy things they didn't need. It felt hopeless. Then came your first breakthrough. Not $1 million, not even 10,000, just $43. Woke up and saw the payment notification, $43. For most people, it was nothing. For you, it was proof. A complete stranger had paid you online, without meeting you, without knowing you, without a degree, without permission. You stared at the screen for 20 minutes. Because in that moment, your entire world changed. The amount didn't matter, the possibility did. You doubled down. You learned copywriting. You learned marketing. You studied sales psychology. You learned how attention worked, how content spread, how businesses acquired customers. You weren't chasing money anymore, you were building skills. And skills started paying slowly, painfully slowly. Your income grew from $43 to $200, then $500, then $1,000 months. Nothing impressive, but enough to keep going. Eventually, another idea appeared: content creation. You noticed something strange. The people making the most money weren't always the smartest. They were often the best communicators, the people who could tell stories, build audiences, capture attention. So you started posting. Your first videos got almost no views, 10 views, 20 views, 30 views, sometimes fewer. It felt embarrassing, but you kept uploading week after week, month after month. Then one video exploded, 10,000 views, then 50,000, then hundreds of thousands. For the first time, the internet felt real. Not as entertainment, as opportunity. Brands started reaching out, clients appeared, business opportunities multiplied. The same people who once laughed began asking questions. Are you doing this? Can you teach me? What course should I buy? You almost laughed, because nobody saw the years behind the result. They only saw the outcome, not the struggle, not the failures, not the nights wondering if you had ruined your future. Then came another dream: travel. You had spent years watching digital nomads on YouTube, working beside beaches, flying between countries, living freely. Now, for the first time, it felt possible. So you booked a one-way ticket, destination Bali, the island you had seen in hundreds of videos, the unofficial capital of internet entrepreneurs. When you landed, it felt surreal. Scooters everywhere, palm trees, cafes filled with laptops, entrepreneurs discussing startups over coffee, freelancers taking calls beside rice fields. For years it had existed only on a screen. Now you were standing inside it. You rented a small room, nothing luxurious, but it was yours. Every morning you opened your laptop, not because someone told you to, because your future depended on it. And for the first time, work felt different. You weren't escaping responsibility. You were choosing it. That's when the biggest realization arrived. The dream wasn't Bali. The dream wasn't money. The dream wasn't even freedom. The dream was ownership. Ownership of your time. Ownership of your decisions. Ownership of your life. The location was just a bonus. As months passed, your business continued growing. You met people from every corner of the world. Designers from Germany, developers from India, marketers from America, founders from Australia. The internet had erased geography. Talent mattered more than location. A kid with a laptop could compete with companies. An individual could build an audience larger than traditional media. The opportunities were unlike anything previous generations had experienced. But there was a darker side too. You saw people chasing shortcuts, jumping from trend to trend, buying every new course, following every new guru, searching endlessly for secrets. Most never succeeded, because they spent more time consuming information than applying it. The winners weren't necessarily smarter. They were simply more consistent. While others searched for magic formulas, they worked every day for years. Eventually, your income reached levels that once felt impossible, 5 figures a month, then more. You moved into better places, traveled more, helped your family, bought things you once dreamed about. Yet strangely, the most satisfying moment wasn't any of those achievements. It was remembering that classroom. The day everyone laughed when you said you wanted to work online, not because you proved them wrong, because you proved yourself right. There is a difference. Years later, sitting in a Bali cafe overlooking the ocean, you opened your laptop and thought about the journey, the failures, the scams, the courses, the sleepless nights, the self-doubt, the tiny victories, the first payment, the first client, the first viral video, the first flight, the first apartment. The first month where everything finally clicked. None of it happened overnight. And that's the part social media rarely shows. People love success stories, but they skip the boring middle. The years where nothing seems to work. The years where nobody believes in you. The years where you're building something invisible. Yet those years are where everything is decided. Because most people quit there. Most people return to safety. Most people abandon the dream before the dream has a chance to reward them. You didn't. Not because you were special, not because you were smarter. Because you stayed long enough, that's all, and maybe that's the lesson. Not that everyone should drop out of school, not that everyone should move to Bali, not that every guru is right, not that money solves everything. The lesson is simpler, the world has changed. Opportunities exist today that didn't exist 20 years ago. A laptop can become a business. A skill can become income. A story can become a career. A teenager can build something from a bedroom and reach millions of people. But none of it happens because you watched motivational videos. None of it happens because you bought another course. None of it happens because a guru promised you freedom. It happens when you finally close the video, close the course, close the browser, and start building. Because somewhere right now, another kid is sitting in a classroom, looking out the window, wondering if life has to follow the script, wondering if there's another path. Wondering if the dream is real. And maybe, years from now, they'll be sitting in another country with a laptop in front of them, remembering the exact moment they decided to take the chance. The same chance you took. The chance that changed everything. And it all started with a single thought. What if there was another way?